Till now, in the Python programming, we have seen all the cases or success cases. But in the real time application or real time scenario, there will be a lot of errors, lot of exception which can be thrown, and we will come the software development platform will come across with a lot of exception and errors. For example, we have the file. If suppose we wanted to open a file, in case the file is not present over there, it will throw an error, and we have to handle that error. Sometimes if suppose we have the variable, somewhat it has been initialized with a 0, and if suppose we are dividing that any variable using that variable, then we will get across the 0 division errors, and like that we will have in the real time we will have lot of errors that may occur during the runtime. Exceptions which are not handled in the program and results like a error message in the output console. Error message basically indicates what is the reason and what has happened during the program executions. Some of the example exceptions or error or something like a 0 division error, name error, value error, file not found error, OS error, arithmetic error, and index error, and buffer errors, and something like a import errors. If suppose there is a importing that particular module is not present, we will come across with the import error. Like that there can be lot of possibilities of getting an errors during the runtime execution of the any Python program. In order to handle that exception, we have the blocks called try and except block, which is used to handle an exception. For example, here I am going to divide a variable with a 0. Maybe we can add an file over here. I'm going to add new file python exception.py over here, and inside that I'm going to define x equals 0 and a equals 10, and I'm going to do b equals a divided by x, which is something like dividing by 0, and I'm going to save this. If suppose I am executing this, which is an exception, it has thrown an error of 0 division error and division by error. It's something like we does not handled the error in this program. Because of that, the error has been thrown onto the console output over here. If suppose we wanted to handle that error, maybe we need to add try block, and then once the try block has been done, and maybe we can use except and catch the exception as an error, and I'm going to print the exception over here. Exception occurred due to dot format of error. Now we are going to run this application over here. Run exception. This we got an exception. The exception is handled over here. B equals a by 0. That exception is handled in the program itself, and we got the output of exception. Exception occurred due to the division by 0. This is the error of exception. If suppose we have the list, I am having the list of empty list, and I am going to access this empty list, and for example A maybe B equals list of 0 over here, and whenever we run this program, because exception occurred due to the list index out of range, the exception is list is index out of range is the exception which has been thrown. Since it is a empty list, we are trying to access that over here. And for example, if suppose I am going to open a file equals open something .txt in a read mode over here. Now I am going to run that exception. Now we got the exception occurred due to the error number 2, and which is an no such file or directory like something.txt has been present. For example, if suppose we got this exception, we cannot move forward. Basically, that we need to handle in our program. If there is an exception occurred, what we need to do accordingly. The similar way we can do that different exception handling, something like we can do the option something like exception 0 division error, and we can put something like it has been occurred due to the 0 division error, print as error, maybe 0 division error maybe dot format of error. The similar way we will be having different exception like name error. We will be having a name error, we will be having a not implemented error, file not found error, module not found error. We have the 0 division error, we have the accession error, blocking IO error, we have an value error, we have an 0 division error, we have an end of file error, we have an key error, we have the OS error. Like that, there can be a multiple option of getting an error in the real time. We can handle, depends upon our scenario that we can handle in our application in order to smoothly execute the program or smoothly exit out of the program without any crashes in the program. If suppose there is a file is not present, we can just say that whether installation is proper, this file is not found. For example, in the Windows, if suppose we will be getting something like a win32.dll file is not found, if suppose we does not installed any packages, the respective packages. So like that, we can provide a smooth indication or information to the user that this is the reason the application is crashing, or this is the reason application is exiting. Like that, we can able to provide the information by handling the exception in our program. I'm going to handle type error as an error over here, and maybe we can use that in the same manner as here. If suppose I'm going to do for example, I'm going to do something like C equals A plus a complex number of 10 plus 6j I'm going to add, then what is happening, that we will see over here. That I'm going to run this. This something like it got executed because a plus 10j is normal, and maybe I'm going to divide this a divided by x, which is over here, or else maybe I'm going to do integer of 10 plus 6j. I'm trying to convert a complex number into the integer value over here, and I got the option something like a type error over here. We have the error mismatch in this code, type error, and I'm going to run it again. We got handle with the type error, and the error is cannot convert into the complex into the integer. Like that, we can handle that multiple runtime exceptions, so that we can provide the user a flexibility to smoother exit, or with the more detailed information, the reason for application is not running on that particular system, and it may be useful while doing the debugging of that application at different platforms like Windows, and different platform at the different locations. During that time, it will be very useful when we handle the exception in a proper manner.